All right, what's up, guys? Chocosura here, and we're back with another Secret of Mana Randomizer Seed of the Week. This is number 246, and for this week we have a vanilla long seed for this week. All right, so it is Sunday as I'm recording this seed. You guys won't see this until Friday when it goes up on the channel. So with that said, here we go. We have, what, 9 flags for this weekly seed? So let's go ahead and take a look at them. Starting off, we have a random starting character. We have restrictive logic. Flaming Drum is in logic again this week, so yeah, we do have to find the Flaming Drum among the checks. Start with one and find the others. So we are going to be starting off with 2 characters. Of course, we don't know what 2 characters we're going to be starting off with, but we're starting off with 2 characters, and the third is somewhere in the seed. We also have randomized character roles. So the boy, the girl, and the sprite, their roles are going to be randomized amongst each other. They might be randomized. Sometimes they may stay themselves. So there's also no unique flag check. So we could have duplicate roles. So we could have, 3 boys, 3 girls, 3 sprites. Any combination of the 3. Low chest drops and mini chest traps. It is what it says. Chests will not be dropping as much as they do normally. And when they do drop, there is a good chance they have traps in them. So we do have to be careful around trap chests this run. Faster magic leveling is disabled. Basically, this means that the spell experience from casting spells is going to be set to their vanilla values, which means spells will level up much slower. And last but not least, we have a 300 gold start. Alright, so right away, just from these flags, this seed could be pretty mean. It depends on where everything is, but it also might not be so mean. It depends on several factors. It depends on what character roles we're dealing with. Depends on how many elementals we need for Grand Palace. It depends on where the Flaming Drum is. So yeah, this seed could go one of 2 ways. It could be a nice seed or a not so nice seed. Also, we kind of have to redeem ourselves from last week's seed. We ended up in 5th place last week, so we got to redeem ourselves. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so boy start. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, 40 HP boy means the boy is the sprite. Okay, so we get a second character right here too. So it's either the girl or the sprite. Okay, boomerang start. There's the girl. Oh wow. Okay. We are dealing with a double sprite start. This is going to be quite interesting. Okay, strength on the bow, dark con on the boomerang. All right. Oh brother. Okay, whip orb. Depending on how this early game goes, this might be pretty nasty. Okay, Undini not needed for Grand Palace. Let's check the shop. Okay, Ivy Ambulance. Actually, I'm running double sprite. Let me buy a couple of candies just in case. I'll buy 4. Just in case I need them. And I'm actually gonna drop a save. Let's peek Mantis Ant and see what it is. Can we kill this? Is that Buffy? Yeah, we're not interested in that. Alright, so there's no chance we kill that now. So we're gonna go ahead and load our save back up. I'm actually feeling going to upper land first here. Okay, fire final is the Earth Seed. Oh, brother. Earth Seed is on the Fire Seed pedestal. That actually worries me a little bit because there is a world where the Flaming Drum is behind the Earth Seed. This might be one of those seeds. I don't know. I'm just getting bad vibes from this seed already. We got a double sprite start. Basically. I mean, it's boy and girl, yeah, but they both have the sprites roll. Okay, she's definitely got the better of the two weapons right now. She can keep that, though. Alright, let's see. Our orb is Undini, so Undini required for upper land. That's good to know. Okay, there's the whip and salamander. Okay, so this is actually not a bad start here. Alright, whip has Luna Khan. We have an orb for that too. Do I use it though? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, this is actually good because now we have an int weapon. Alright, so let's see. I think our play here is to go back to Potos. I'm actually gonna put this on the boy. Maybe we take a shot at that Buffy, maybe? We get 4 shots of Fireball for each character, so basically 8 spells. I don't know if it's enough, though. Because Buffy's one of those bosses that has more HP and defense in at level 1 than other bosses do. We can try it, I guess, but I mean, we'll see what happens. We also have a level 2 whip, so there is that. Maybe we can squeak by this boss, I don't know. Okay, I swung too early, that's my fault. Alright, so we're just gonna start chucking fireballs at this thing. Okay, yeah, we might be able to get past this. Maybe. Okay, there we go. That works. It's unfortunate we're not getting spell experience because we don't have any mana seeds yet, but I mean, it is what it is. The question is, do I want to keep whatever's here? Sword orb. No. Alright, we reset that. Alright, so nothing at Mantis Ant. Okay, so I think we just go straight to Undini's cave then. Chest. Yes, I'm actually gonna take this. Okay, that's a bomb. Alright, Shade is mid. Good to know. Oh, he got hit too. Trying not to take too much damage here. Okay, Moonseed is also mid. I'm gonna save it, Nico. Okay, we don't have a lot of money though, so we're actually not gonna stay the night. We are gonna save though. Okay, so Moonseed mid and Shade is mid. Okay, Darkseed on a ped. Okay. Pretty decent hints. I don't know how helpful they'll be later on, but we'll see. Okay, this is kind of bad actually. I'll try it. And see how far we get. Yeah, Thunder Saber's fine. Yeah. Ah, freaking silence, of course. Yeah, she's out of MP. Boy is still silenced, though, unfortunately. We gotta be careful here. Can I get into the freaking menu, please? A double candy here. And we're also gonna swap to the boy. Need to get her to safety. Okay, silence on her, that's fine. Okay, he's out of MP. I think we can kill from here. I need to stand in front of him, though. There we go. We got him. Woo! That was a little rough because, first of all, we weren't in position for him to spam Thunderbolt. And second, he got silences off, which kind of threw off my mojo. But we got through. Alright, level 4. Another whip orb. I think I just keep this whip where it is, actually. It's got intelligence on it. Wow. The flamey drum behind that Thunder Gigas, though? Ew. Okay, this is definitely one of those seeds. One of those seeds. Ugh. That's a really ugly spot to put that. Alright, let's go to Matango. And really, the reason why I say it's an ugly spot to put that is because that Thunder Gigas is there. I don't know. Okay, Cobra Bracelet. We don't have any money, unfortunately. So here's hoping we find some money on some of these free checks. Okay, sold up. I was actually thinking about noping out of that Thunder Gigas too, but then I'm thinking, okay, I've got double Salamando. Maybe I can try to push through. Let's see. We want information here. Moon Palace. Moon Seed is mid. We know that much. Maybe we'll stumble across it. I don't know. Because a fair amount of free checks are in mid game, so maybe we'll stumble across the Moon Seed at some point. Okay, that's Dryad, which we obviously don't have. Play me out. The Earth Seed is on the Fire Seed pedestal, though. I'll go here. So I should probably, at the very least, get a look at the orb. Okay, that's Undini. What about? Okay, so Undini's needed to get through the first orb in Fire Palace. We know the Earth Seed is there. Let's go to Turtle Isle. We'll go Turtle Isle into Mandala, get some hints from the temple. Okay, $400. Saw Cobra Braces back in Matango. We could find something cheap here, that would be nice. I mean... Nah. I could. But we still got a bunch of free checks to go. We might find some more cash. Maybe we can get some better armor than that. If I don't find anything else, then I'll buy those. But I doubt I'll need to buy those. Alright, what do we got? Okay, Moogle Belt, Forgotten Land. We've got Rabbi Force for the Sprite. Do I care though? I don't know. Alright, 5 elements needed for Grand Palace. Shades required. Sylphid's required. Tower key on a ped. And Gnome is required. Okay, so we got some really good information out of that. We know that we need 5 elementals, and we know 3 of them. Or we know the identity of 3 of them. Gnome, Sylphid, and Shade. We have Salamando as well. So Salamando might be required. I don't know. Oh my god, I can't land. Some spots you have to land at the perfect spot. We also know that the sprite is in the Rabbi Forest, which means he's at the sword pedestal. However, we can't get to him because we don't have a cutting weapon. But I don't think I care though, because we're running double sprite as it is. Okay, there's the water seed. That's nice. Okay, light seed on a ped. Wow, okay, so let me see. Moogle Belt. Moogle Belt was Sunken Continent. Alright, what we got? Okay, spiky suit. Ooh, actually some decent stuff here. We'll start with these though. I can only get one, unfortunately. Give it to the boy. And we'll give that to you. Alright, so Power Wrist and Spiky Suit at Tasnica. I gotta remember that. And I saw Raccoon Caps there too. I think Raccoon Cap was there and like Ruby Vest was there. Alright, so let's see. We have the whip. You know what? Let's go to Doppelganger Cave and see what these guys can tell us. And in fact, we have one seed. We can go ahead and start working on you. Ow. I gotta be careful on my way up here though. So we're not exactly... We don't have the best defense right now. Nah. I have to kill this thing. Otherwise I get Moogle. There we go. Okay, we're gonna swap to the girl and have the boy do the same thing here. Ideally, I should be casting this actually. At least we get 36 points of experience for our spells there. Alright, what do you goobers say? Sea Hare's tail behind an Undini orb and nothing. Okay, so the Sea Hare's tail is possibly in the Fire Palace because we saw an Undini orb there earlier. Whether that's relevant or not, I don't know, but we just know that the Sea Hare's tail is possibly in the Fire Palace. Okay, so we go from here to Lighthouse. And we'll go Lighthouse in the mirror. Actually, no, we go Lighthouse into Grand Palace. Because we do have the whip, we can check the Grand Palace chest. And see what's in there. We'll go Lighthouse into Grand Palace. Okay, Axel up there. Let me out. Yeah, so if the sprite has his own magic, then I think we just snoop out. I think the only way I keep the sprite is if the sprite comes with the axe, or if the sprite has girl magic. I think that's the only way I keep him. Otherwise, I think I just know about him. We know where he is, though. I don't think we need him, though. Alright, so we can at least get a peek at these two rooms. Alright, that's a shade room. We already know shades required. And that's a gnome room. Okay, so that didn't give us any additional information, unfortunately. Basically telling us what we already know. Gnome and shade are required. What I really want right now is some cash so I can get some armor. Ooh, okay, there's Dryad though. Alright. I need to start thinking about an elemental to main for this seed. I'm not sure if it's going to be Salamander or Dryad. Okay, there's Shade. Maybe it's just Dryad and Shade. I'm thinking that's what it might have to be, is Dryad and Shade. Okay, I need it known. We already know that. Kung Fu dress. Silver bandits here, but there's nothing really here that we can get right now. We are still broke, unfortunately. There's not a lot of money in this seed, apparently. Okay, so what I will do, though, is sleep. The thing is, I've already put 36 points into Salamander, so I'm thinking maybe Dryad and Salamander. Might just start on Dryad now, though. Yeah, I'm gonna start on Dryad now. Actually, what I might do when I'm done with my freebies is do a grind session with my magic. No. Okay, Bulwark. Axel. What about? So I think what I might do is just do a grind session with Dryad and get it to level 1 and then start killing bosses. I think that's what I might do. Alright, glove orb. We are going to rope out. I honestly want to skip Northtown Ruins, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Northtown Ruins is just weird because you know there's 3 free chests in here. It just takes a while to get to them. And how on a seed like this, I kind of want to just that's actually good. I kind of want to just do this in one shot, but on the other hand, I don't. I can get 4 more sleep flowers in. Alright, bow orb. Ah, jeez. I got to get some armor. Holy moly. I got freaking moogled by that guy. Don't hit her. Yeah, this early game is kind of annoying actually. Because the seed is not giving us a lot of gold right now. I actually just want to leave. I just want to leave. I'm not going for the back chest. I don't think we're in a good enough position to go back there. So we're not going to bother. Alright, so let's drop down here. Okay, nothing there. The orb. Oops. I'm not gonna lie, this early game is a little rough, honestly. A little bit. Okay, so that should be all of his MP. Jab orb. We're not finding a lot of useful things either. Okay, so let's see. I think we just go to Pandora here. Alright, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the Dryad magic to level 1 real fast. I only need, I think, 4 spells. I'll do that right now, actually. Yeah, I can cast them both at the same time, actually. God dang it! I hate when it happens because when you go into one menu and you scroll up to the spell menu, it does the same thing. Let me go to photos. It does, it scrolls the other menu up too. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Like, I'm on the spell menu here. I have to go up and go to the spell menu there too. And it's annoying. When you're trying to, we're basically controlling 2 menus here at the same time. Okay, so they should both be up. Alright. We'll go to photos, we'll sleep. Salamander's at 36 XP, I think, so I would rather work on Shade, honestly. Alright, let's go to Ruins. We didn't find much during our freebies run. We found Shade, we found Dryad, we found the Water Seed. And I think that's about it. And we got some good information too, so I can't say it was a bad freebies one. We just didn't get too much out of it, aside from a couple of elementals and a seed. Oh my gosh. This is why you buy armor, because it's annoying when these things are hitting you and you just lose so much time. I know some runners, they swear by not buying armor, but I mean, that's the way they play. I don't like to play like that because getting hit just, you know, it just takes up more time. Nice shot, Prim. Because every time you get hit, you waste like 2 or 3 seconds just sitting on the ground. Especially when you're solo. It's especially bad when you're solo because you lose like 2 or 3 seconds every time you get hit. I would rather deal with, you know, dodge animations, which they take up much less time. Alright, who is this? Oh, of course it is. Gosh dang it. Alright, Salamander it is. This is unfortunate. But it's okay though. I need to get away from her though. At least it gives me an excuse to use it though. Wow, that did less than my fireballs. What the heck? We got to be a little careful here because, again, we don't have much armor. I do have 2 candies. There we go. Alright. Wow, we're 30 minutes in already. Jeez. Alright, so gnome requires sofa, requires shade required. We have shade. Ondini's not required. Rose orb, nothing. Okay. Worst case scenario is the sprite has the girls role and we need Lumina for Grand Palace. That's probably the worst case scenario. Which I'm hoping that's not the case, but I don't know. We also don't know where Luna is either. Alright. Tiaras, hair ribbon. Okay. I need some money! Holy crap, can the seed like throw me a bone here or something? Just give me some cash so I can get some armor. If I was running 2 boys, this wouldn't be as much of an issue, but I'm running 2 sprites here. Alright, Boomer Orb there. Hopefully there's something in here. Okay, Wind Seed is nice. Alright, 1,200 bucks. There we go. Jav Orb. Another Jav Orb. Mage Mallet, and a Whip Orb. Okay, 1,200 bucks. That's what's up. All right, let's get out of here. We saw Spiky Suits and Tasnica though. I probably should have picked up those tiaras. We saw Raccoon Caps though. Let me go to Guy's Navel. Maybe there's something here. I don't know. Dryad. Actually, we just want to do this. I'm gonna go this way and grab the magic rope chest first. Okay, Salamander's level 1 for her anyway. Nice. Very nice. We take that. Okay, so Salamander is level 1 and so is Dryad. I really should work on Shade though. The reason why I should work on Shade is because of Mana Beast later on. Alright, Whip Orb. Can we forge? I kind of want to forge this because it's a crappy weapon. Let's see what this is. And strength, dragon and okay, this is good. Dragon and fire, that works for me. Matter of fact, we can give you this, and now they both have intelligence weapons. Okay, nothing on Elder. Earth Palace needs Gnome. Okay, bow up there. We rope out. Really gotta stop doing that. Muscle memory keeps telling me to go up on the ring menu instead of down. Alright. Alright, we got 2,900 gold. Throw me a bone here. Okay, golem ring. Okay, chest guard is good actually. 900. We can go like. We can go like this, I guess. I mean, I saw tiaras back in Pandora, but yeah, that's okay. It's all good. Alright, so we'll go Pro Cap, Power Wrist, and Chest Guard. Now we're working with some better armor here. The only thing I might want to upgrade a little bit later are those Pro Caps, which I might just upgrade them anyway, but I don't know. Alright, let's see. Save split these bosses, and I think after this we go to Water Palace. I think what I want to do is just full clear early game. Because I have a gut feeling that this is going to be one of those seeds where it's going to stick something in a stupid spot. Alright, Jabberwocky, yeah, we got this guy. That should be it, right? Yeah. I also want to try to save split as much as I can because we don't want these enemies gaining too many levels because we are running double sprite here. Alright, glove orb, reset. Okay. Nothing there. check Killboy. Yeah, so most of our free spots are exhausted already, and we don't have a cutting weapon, nor do we have much progression here. Let's go double burst here. Nice. Okay, Axe Orb. Undini's here though. She's not required for Grand Palace, but we might need her to get into Fire Palace. Maybe. Alright, so let's flame me out. We're gonna drop a save at... I'm gonna drop a save in Kaipo. Reason why I'm dropping a save in Kaipo is because, one, I want to read the hint. Do I check this? I could. Ooh, circlets are here. That's actually nice, but I can't afford it, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll drop a save here and we'll check out Water Palace. And if there's nothing there, we just reset back here. I'll read this first though. Whip into town, we already got that. Alright, so nothing new there. Sprite is at Rabbite Forest. Possible that he has the axe, which might be slightly annoying because that means we'll need to find the sword. Alright, we check this. Okay. I will say that having double Sprite is actually really nice because that means we don't need to rely as much on spell levels. So the faster magic leveling disable flag actually isn't that terrible here. It may seem like it is, but it's actually not that terrible. And I think I chose correctly to run Dryad Magic this seed. Alright, Spear Orb, reset. We have Undini too. I honestly want to just comb over mid game here. Moonseed is mid. Where am I going though? It's got a hunch that it's one of those seeds. I'm gonna check Salamander Oven here. I have a hunch that it's going to be one of those seeds where our progression is sitting in like silly locations, despite the fact that it's not hard complexity. All right, so we drop a save there. We're going to check the Salamander Oven, see what's there. Because right now I don't think we're even halfway done with this seed yet. We need Gnome, we need Sylphid. We also need to find out what the other two elementals are that we need. If we can find Lumina and Luna, then we're in a much better spot. Okay, Minotaur. We're not using Undini here. Nice. Yeah, I feel like double burst is just the way to go here, for sure. Wow. All right, so nothing there. Let's just go to. Let's clear out Ice Palace. Like I said, I kind of want to just comb over mid game here. Pure Land seems god awful right now, so I do not want to touch Pure Land if I can avoid it. So I would rather just stick to mid game areas right now. Kill this. Ooh. That might have been a mistake actually. Because now we're probably not going to level up off this boss. Yeah, I think that was a huge mistake what I just did there. Yeah, this is going to be a Thunder Gigas too. I have enough for a fireball too. That's on her. Nine? Really? Okay, he's out. I'll move up a little bit closer for her if I can. Nice. There we go. So the strat I was doing there was to stand in front of him with one character. When he casts his Thunderbolt, I switch to the other character so I can actually attack him. And repeat the process. Okay, bow orb. We did level up there, right? Yes, okay. Tiger. Yeah, seen that coming. I need you to hit her though. Chances are he's gonna land right on top of me here, or not. All right. So Ice Palace is done. We didn't find much here, unless there's something right here, which I don't know. Alright, we leveled. Spear Orb, and Luna's here. Ew. Oh my god, this is one of those seeds. I can tell this is one of those seeds. Alright, so we got Luna. 2200 gold. Let me see. First of all, we want to flame me out of here. I think I just run the Empire here. I'm just gonna run the Empire here. Matter of fact, we never checked this shop, did we? I'm gonna check this shop real quick. Because I could use some better helmets right now. Our armor's good enough for now. $2,200. Ooh, okay. Tiger caps are here. Quilted hoods are here. I'll take the tiger caps. Yeah, sure. I was considering quilted hoods. But then again, if I just fork over, 400 more gold, I get 6 more defense. So, might as well. Alright, so I think what we do here is just clear out Empire. Might just start with the ruins, honestly. Maybe we can start with ruins, sure. Let me get this out of the way. I know I'm double dipping this place, but we weren't in a good position to clear this out the first time. Alright, so I'm gonna start using my lunar magic here as soon as I get some targets. We don't want to stick around for that, otherwise we get drained. Oh, this D-pad is so annoying sometimes. Yeah, I do have to be careful with my MP here. Make sure I drain enough so I can actually keep casting here. There we go. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing with the boy here. Again, we don't want to let that go through, otherwise we get drained by the cloud there. We don't want that. Okay. So far, so good. We at least want to get this to level 1. So our NP sustain doesn't absolutely suck during boss fights. Okay. Go ahead and drain with her as well. Make sure everyone's at full MP. Alright. Yeah, I could get it up to level 2. I could, but that's gonna take a while, so I think it's 13 spells from level 1 to 2, so like I said earlier, spell levels, when you're running a double sprite setup, spell levels aren't as important because you have, you know, you can cast twice. You can cast with each character, so I'm gonna go ahead and drain here just in case. I think he's dead actually. Or not, okay. I was lied to. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like I'm just maining, in quotes, maining, Dryad and Salamander, I guess. And Shade, I can get Shade up in the Mana Fortress. Alright, Jav Orb, Boom Orb, nothing there. There's probably nothing back here either. And I don't think I saved before coming in here either. Okay, Mech 3 is dead, which, yeah, it's vanilla long, so. Vampire. I'm just gonna bring out the Forest. 3 MP. Yeah, we can do one of these and then drain. Okay. Really? You got hit by that? Okay. There we go. Okay. My only concern right now is if the sprite has girl magic, which means we might need to find Lumina. That's my only concern right now. Okay, Spear Orb and the Moon Seed is here. We got a hint saying the Moon Seed was mid, so we can go check that too, but not right now. I want to stay in North Town right now. Oh my god, this D-pad. Jeez. Alright, let me save. Okay, North Town Castle it is. Alright, we check Metal Mantis. We check Mech 2. Okay, we do have to be a little bit careful with our casting here. We do have 12 MP now. Okay, that should be girls dryad that just went up. Yeah. You did? Yes. Let's see, what else do we know? Gold keys on a ped. Whip orb. Oh, wow. The sword is here. That's... Ugh. This seed just keeps getting better and better. And I think I am going to start using my shape magic here. And the reason why is... in case we run into a mech 3 somewhere, we want to have our dispel at a decent level. That's not 0. Let me watch my MP though. 2 left? 4 left, okay. I can work on boys later. Not worried about him right now. I'm 1 off. Yep. I need to drain. I can't use this last MP. Alright, 1 more. Okay. Her dispel is level 1. Axe Beak. Let's see how much this does. Maybe we can squeak through this with level 0 phrase. Yeah, we should be okay, I think. Okay, he's casting like Fireball or something. Or Fire Bouquet, one of them. That's not good though. Let me go ahead and just spend this last 2 MP. He's done. Okay, good. Woo! Alright, so we found the sword, which gives us access to a sprite for one thing, and Witch's Castle. And the rest of Pure Land for that matter, which I'm trying not to touch Pure Land on here. Ugh, nah, we don't keep that. We're gonna go ahead and load up the autosave here. Okay, we are going to go out. Alright, so next thing I'm gonna do here is we're gonna flame you out. We're gonna go to Potos, we'll save. We know the sprite set the sword pedestal. We want to see what role he is, because if he has the role of the girl, that means it's possible that we might need Lumina magic to get through Grand Palace. So we need to find out that information. We definitely need to find that out, because if we leave him behind and he does have girl magic, and we learn that Lumina is required, we're going to have to go fetch him. And we got to find Lumina on top of that. So we need to find out what role the sprite is. If the sprite is himself, or if the sprite has the boys role, we 100% reset. I don't need 3 sprites. I have 2. What does this hint say? Salamander in the town. We already got that. So this is just for... Oh my god, would you move? Dang, enemies? Jeez. Out of the way. Alright, that's on boy. Oh, that's on her. Okay, never mind. We also want to find out if he comes in with the axe too. Okay, Sprite's got 50 HP with the spear, so we reset. Okay, good to know. Alright, let's see. Load save. We go to Witch's Castle here. Yeah, so we 100% nope out of the Sprite right there. Because the Sprite has the boy's roll and he came in with the spear. So now we know we 100% do not need the Sprite this run. So let's go to Witch's Castle. We have to go in from here. We don't have the axe, unfortunately. So maybe, if we're lucky, we can find a good hint at the Nestor Berry here. Let me see what's on that sword, by the way. Oh, okay, that works. Beast intelligence and fire damage. Alright, I need to work on your Luna. Or not your Luna, your Shade rather. Before I do that, the enemies are level 14. Uh, 3 MP. You save? Alright, so we drain. Try that again. I also need to probably work on their Luna as well. And get their Luna up to level 2 at the very least. Alright, let's see what this says. Sprite. Yeah, we knew what Sprite is. Oh, wow. I don't want to go back and get him just to get another possible hint, though. Don't make me do that, game. Should be it right here. Yeah. Man, that is dirty putting that hint there. I mean, I know Sprite's in the Rabbi Forest, but I don't want to go back to get him and then bring him back over here just to get another possible hint. There might not be another hint after that, so I'm just going to leave that be. Alright, Spear Orb. This seed is annoying. I'm just gonna flat out say it. This seed is annoying. Alright, what do we get out of this? Okay, there's the axe and the fire seed. Okay. That's good because now... Ooh, fire seed and axe though. Which means we 100% needed the sword? Get to the axe? Alright. Here's what we do. We have the axe, we have the fire seed. I think we just head over to Kakara. We can turn in the moon seed since we have Dryad and the seed. I need MP. Yeah, let me drain real fast. Yeah, didn't get much from him, unfortunately. I need to level up their lunar magic for sure, because it's starting to fall off. We know this is Dryad. Alright, let me try this again. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, did I target the right thing? I did, okay. Because usually I multi-target right there just to make sure I hit the crystal orb. Alright, glove orb. Damn. Alright, so nothing on the moon seed pedestal. Unfortunately. Alright. Flame me out. We need 5. Okay, so I think once we find Gnome and Sylphid, I think we're in go mode. Because we don't need Lumina. Since we know there's no grow magic in the seed, we don't need Lumina. We have Luna and Dryad. And we have Shade and Salamander. We have Undini, but she's not required. So yeah, once we find Gnome and Sylphid, we'll be in go mode. Okay, Ruby Vest. I mean, I can, but I can't at the same time. I will get 2 of these though. Okay, what's my play here though? I think my next play is Fire Palace. I think. Yeah, I think I'll go Fire Palace here for sure. For one thing, we know the Earth Seed is here. And seeing how this seed has been going so far, we just might need that. We just might need that. Okay, so this first orb is Undini. Yep. Try to get her Luna up to level 2 here if I can. Okay, there's the Sea Hare Tail, which we kind of figured out that was there because we got a hint saying that the Sea Hare Tail was behind an Undini orb. Or what's this? Dryad. We got that too. Oh no, let that finish. There we go. I think we can full clear Fire Palace right now. Alright, Spear Orb. Hurry on over here. Okay, there's a level up for that. Work on his now, because he needs it too. Dryad Seed, okay. Gotta make sure we don't target the ghost here, because we get reverse drained if that happens. I don't even mind starting. Oh, sugar. I gotta keep going now. Because if I stop, he'll get drained by the ghost. Alright, we're good. Alright, so boy's like halfway to 3 now, which is fine. Which is just fine. Salamander, okay. Alright, Minotaur. I think that was 440 something. I couldn't catch it. One more for good measure. I really hope and pray that neither Gnome or Sylphid are sitting in Pure Land. It's probably the case. I'm trying not to go there though. What are we, level 15? Yeah. I really don't want to go to Pure Land. If I can avoid it, I will. Okay, yeah, there's our Earthseed. We knew that was there. Alright, let's rope out. I'm actually gonna try and do a big brain play here and follow that. Except I can't because I don't have Gnome. So we need to find Gnome first. Jeez. Let's go to Pandora. We'll save. We can turn in the Dryad Seed and see what we get out of that. We turned in the Moon Seed. That was nothing. Turned in the Fire Seed. That was the Earth Seed. We didn't turn in the Wind Seed yet. We know that the Dark Seed is on a ped. And we know that the Light Seed is... I think the Light Seed is on a ped too. And the Gold Key is on a ped as well. So maybe there's something on the Light Seed pedestal? I don't know. I think that's it, actually. Dead. So... I think Gnome might be the next step in the chain. I think. Looking like it. Axe Orb. Okay, Dryad Ped is 1,200 bucks and a Boom Orb. Okay, so the Gold Key's not there. It might be something on the Light Seed pedestal. We know the Dark Seed's on the ped. It can't be on its own ped, obviously, so it's not there. It's also Flaming Cave too. We can check. I know what I do want to do though. Before I forget, and while I have the money, we are going to go back to the Poto shop and buy a couple of Ivy amulets. Because if we run into, say, a tiger or something that can knock us unconscious, then we can't cast anything. So we don't want that happening. And I'm going to buy 2 of these just in case I have to go to doppelgangers, which... How good would that play be, though? I don't know. Let me save. I actually don't know how good that play would be if I were to go to doppelgangers right now. Because all of our options are kind of trash right now, to be honest with you. I mean, we're digging deep into the barrel here. Maybe it's a situation where there's something on hexes that I actually need. I'm going to check watermelon first, though. Alright. Ooh, okay, we got you. Alright, let me position you to... for fireball spam here. Dark Seed's on a ped, can't be its own, so I'm thinking the Dark Seed might be on the Light Seed ped. Glove Orb. Okay, we reset out of that. Dark Seed might be on the Light Seed ped, could be the Wind Seed pedestal. We never checked that. I guess we can check that now. It could also be Earth Seed and the Dark Seed. But we need Gnome for that, though. We need to find Gnome before we can check the Earth Seed pedestal, though. What does the seed want from us? That's the question. What does the seed want from us? There's also the entirety of Pure Land to do, which I'm trying not to go there. That's 6 bosses. Worst case scenario is Gnome is sitting in the back of Pure Land on the mana tree, which would be god awful. All right, 17. Jeez. Let me think. Is this anything? Okay, there's the Light Seed. Cast this real quick. Okay, so Light Seed is there. We can't do anything about that, though, since we don't have the key. The key is on a ped, too. So, maybe... I need Gnome. Flaming Cave is a possible check. I can't check Earth Palace. I can't check Light Palace. We can check the 2 chests in there, though. That is a possibility. We can do that. Oh, no, we can't. We don't have the freaking key. Let's go to Doppelgangers. Maybe the game is telling me to go to Doppelgangers. I don't know. We are, like, hitting rock bottom as far as this seed is concerned. We're getting down to the lowest of the lowest priority checks here. The keys on a ped. The only peds that we haven't checked yet are Earth Ped and Dark Ped and Light Ped. The key obviously can't be on the Light Ped. The Dark Seed can't be on the Dark Ped. So there's something behind that Earth Seed pedestal. We just need to find Gnome. We can check these two chests though real quick though. We can do that. Maybe we get lucky. We find one of our missing elementals here. I don't know. As far as what else is required, that doesn't matter now because we have everything else. We have Luna, we have Dryad. We don't need Lumina since there's no girl magic. And Undine is not required. So we know what else is required. Not exactly, but we know. Oh my god, get out of the way. Damn. We might just have to go to Pure Land. I mean, I don't want to though. But sometimes you just have to do what you don't want to do. I mean, I'm fighting hard not to go to Pure Land, and I'm losing this battle because I'm not finding anything else here. All right, let's check the portcullis chest here. But I ain't giving up. Damn. All right, so money there. Let's just do doppelgangers and see. Maybe the seed is. I mean, this is a pretty cheeky seed. Pretty much. There's also a Sunken City we can check as well. Actually, let's see. Sunken City has the Moogle Belt, which is one of the checks, so probably not the best player. There's also the chest too, so I don't know. We just gotta find Gnome and Sylphin. Oh, we already talked to those guys. Kill this. I don't want him casting silence on me. Well, I'm getting silence anyway. Here's hoping I don't get bombarded by owls on the way down here. Matter of fact, what I can do is just this. Try and stun them. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to stun them. All right. Yeah, first of all, we're going to de-equip the boy here. Give him the sword, run him up there. Okay. We de-equip the girl. We res the boy, re-equip him. So now it's just the Spike doppelganger we got to deal with. I'm waiting till she fully revives first. Who's that? We're gonna start casting spells on him. I hope it's enough to punch through. I don't know if it is or not. Oh yeah, it's definitely enough. Okay, he's not dead yet. Hit it. Nope, he's still breathing. Alright, this should do it right here. Yeah, we doubled up. Wow, Gnome isn't freaking doppelgangers. Of course it is. It's not even hard complexity. Oh, jeez. All right, let's get out of here. I think I have to go check the Earthsea pedestal now because either it's the gold key or the dark seed. It's one of the two. I think. Or it could be something else. No, because we know they're on peds. Both of them are on pedestals, for sure. Alright, I'm gonna save though. We got 6,000 bucks though. I can't really upgrade right now. Unfortunately, oh geez, there's werewolves in here. That's just lovely. I'm gonna have to stun and walk by them. Because I don't want these damn things hitting me. Pretty sure we're at the point where we will be taking damage from these werewolves. I'll swap to the girl, do the same thing with the boy. Man, this seed is just brutal. No. We don't want to fight. We don't want to fight. Make 3? Oh, another one of these? Okay. If you say so. Yep. Alright, so this has to be either gold key or dark seed, right? Alright, boom orb. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm thinking either the gold key or the dark seed is here. Well, I was right. I didn't expect silver to be here, but okay. And that, as they say, is that. Thank you, game. I just thank you. Thank you for putting silver right there, because I really don't want to play the seed anymore. I really don't. All right, let's go to the Grand Palace. Gee whiz, man, this seed. Okay, I do want to start working on my shade magic again. Pretty sure enemy spell levels are 2 at this point. Pretty sure. Ow! The counterattack though? Okay. I respect it. My gosh, man, this seed was pretty brutal. Okay, so we know the one over here is a gnome orb. Yeah. Alright, so now we get to find out what exactly we need. Whatever it is, we already have it. Okay, that's a sulfur bone. I have a feeling that most of the runners are gonna have words about this seed. I can already see it. I mean, because seeing as where some of our required items were, definitely see runners having words about this seed. Okay, let me drain before I go in there. There we go. Alright, this is Salamando. Okay, so Salamando is required. We had that since like the beginning. Yeah, we know we need 5. Luna, okay. Alright, so that is go mode. We've already seen all 5, so the last orb room is something we've already seen. I think if I get Shade to level 2, we'll be fine. There we go. Try to work on his if I can. Let me drain with her though. I do not want to do that, but that's fine. Alright, we are good. The boy must have got smacked over there. Yeah, I think level 2 should be good enough for Shade here because we've got, you know, double spec. Okay. No, we don't know what the hex spot is. We never did check it. Kettlekin. That first one was a low roll, looks like. You did? Yep. Alright, Jab Orb. And nothing. Okay. Glad I didn't check that earlier. Okay. Let's see. Fireball there. And Fireball here. Yeah, like I was saying, faster magic leveling being disabled on the seed is not really a big deal because we are still getting past these bosses rather quickly. What am I doing? Open up. Kind of want to upgrade. I really, really want to upgrade. So let me go to Kakara first. I think I saw a Ruby Vest there. I think. The last thing I want to do is get plastered in the Mana Fortress. Because these enemies are level 20. Oh, we got 13k? Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah. Very least I can get a pair of these. I saw circlets somewhere too. I think it was Kuiper, but I'm not gonna get those at this point. I could, but I'm not gonna bother. We're just gonna go. But yeah, this seed was all sorts of rude. It was rude early, it was rude mid, and it was rude late. Okay, let's go ahead and train here. Oh, that was my fault. She didn't get through. There we go. And I think her Shade Magic is level 2 as well, I think. Should be. We should be able to sub to this seed. Okay. Dryad should be nearing level 4. Should be. Yeah, level 2 Shade should be fine. I mean, we're, like I said, we're double sprite, so. Even a low level Shade ×2 should kill this Dread Slime pretty quickly. Ow. Okay, let's not get hit stun here. I mean, our defense isn't perfect, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, that was a low roll right there, unfortunately. Damn, you ain't dead yet? There we go. I think I could have killed him with four casts. Well, 8 casts, I guess. If I didn't low roll. Ow. Some pretty unfriendly enemies in here. I got stopped. Trying not to walk by them while they're splitting because they will hit you if they do that. Are we full MP? I think we are. Yeah. Let's be leveled off of the slime. Wow. Oh god. Alright. I mean, we have a level 0 gnome though, so I might as well use Dryad here. Yeah. And this might be slightly annoying. Walnut? Yeah, let me walnut. I think I had to. of course. Breaking silence. That was probably one of the worst bosses to show up at the end there, because for one, we don't have Gnome leveled up, and two, we are like level 22, which means that thing has a ton of HP. Bad thing is we don't have any walnuts for this mana beast. I think we'll be fine though. And we get the vanilla mana beast music. All right, so we're gonna shrink both of our guys here. Okay, what are we, 17? Very nice. Oh, I should have swapped a girl there. That was my bad. Okay, my pattern is just all messed up here. She needs to drain. He still has MP. Oh, I'll just drain. Yeah. My pattern got messed up there. I don't know how, but it did. Now I gotta take a hit here. Alright, we're fine. He should be dead, I think. Yeah, he's dead. Alright, GG. Man, this seed was kind of brutal. I'm not gonna lie, this seed was kind of brutal. It was mean. Okay, so we're getting what, 152 20? Yes. All right, so 152.20 is our time for this god-awful seed. This seed was just... All right, where do I start, though? Early game, honestly, is probably the hardest part about this seed, because one, you don't get a lot of money. And two, the flaming drum is sitting in a rude spot. Well, let me rephrase that. The flaming drum is sitting behind a rude boss early on. Thunder Gigas is not the easiest boss to fight early, but thankfully the seed was nice enough to give us a double sprite. Gives us access to Salamando early, gives us access to the whip, and it gives us access to a whip orb which you can forge to get an int weapon. Yeah, so I can kind of see runners checking Undini's cave, seeing that Thunder Gigas and going, Do I fight this? Do I fight this, or do I just reset? And I can totally understand if runners reset out of that. I was about to reset out of that too, honestly, but I thought to myself, I have Salamando. I have a handful of candies, just in case. I'm gonna try to push through and see what happens. Um, because like I said, Thunder Gigas is not the easiest boss to fight at level 1. It is not. Especially when you have more than one character. The tactic you kind of want to use on that fight is to get him to cast Thunderbolt and nothing else. And the way to do that is to stand directly in front of him, not too close so he slams you in the face, but you want to stand just close enough to him so he slams the ground and misses you, but casts his Thunderbolt spell. Because Thunderbolt will cost him 3 MP, and at level 1 he doesn't have that much MP, so once he runs out of MP, then he's a sitting duck. All you have to do is continue to stand in front of him. He'll slam the ground and he'll do nothing because he doesn't have enough MP to cast Thunderbolt. What you don't want to see there is Silence and Blitz Breath, because Blitz Breath obviously does damage. Silence means you can't cast anything, so you don't want to see that mess. Air Blast, we don't care about Air Blast, but we never saw Air Blast, so that doesn't matter. Thunder Saber also doesn't matter. Thunder Saber is it's more annoying than anything else, but ultimately it doesn't matter. But yeah, I can kind of see runners resetting out of that, and they have a perfectly good reason why. Because, like I said, Thunder Gigas, not the easiest boss to fight without armor, and with a double sprite. So there's a couple of ways you can play early game. You could forego that spot and check all the other free spots, you know, Gaia's Navel, even dip into Pandora Ruins maybe. Honestly, going Gaia's Navel first is probably the better play. Probably because there was money on the Magic Rope chest. And I think, if I remember correctly, the Dwarf shop had chest guards and, what was it, quill caps? I think the chest guards were probably out of price range, but quill caps you can definitely afford. They're only 110. So I can see, you know, someone going to Dwarf Village, or Gaia's Navel rather, getting that money out of the Magic Rope chest and then getting at least a quill cap, which will give them some defense. Checking Tropicalo, checking Kilroy, finding Undini, maybe going Pandora Ruins after that. And Pandora Ruins only had 1200 gold and the Midge Mallet, I think. So there wasn't really much in Pandora Ruins. So, I mean, it's two ways you can do this though. And then the other way is what we did. We decided to go upper land, check Moogle Village, we find Salamando and the Whip. You learn that Undini's needed for the orb. And then shoot over the Gaia's Navel and leave that Undini's check for a little bit later when you are a little bit more armored up. The only bad side about that is probably are going to be doing Pandora Ruins, which means that Thunder Gigas is going to be level 4 instead of level 1. So he'll have a bit more HP, a bit more magic defense. So yeah, it's probably even worse if the runner goes something like Moogle Village and the Gaia's Navel does those checks there, the Tropicalo check, does the Kilroy check, keeps Undini, and then goes to Pandora Ruins. Maybe save split out of Tropicalo because there was nothing there. So at least 2 bosses under their belt. So that Thunder Gigas would probably be what, level 6? Maybe level 7? Probably 6, I think. So I don't know. I mean, you can do it either way. I just felt as though I had enough damage and I had enough sustain to barely push through that fight. So yeah, the Flaming Drum was behind a rude boss, which is unfortunate. Mid game, well, freebies rather, didn't turn up too much. It gave us a couple of elementals, Dryad, Shade. What else did it give us? It gave us a couple of bucks, I think, 400 bucks on Total Isle. Shade on Mara, Dryad on, where was Dryad? I think Dryad was in the Grand Palace, chest. We got the Water Seed as well from Tasnica, so that's good too. So I feel as though Dryad is probably the best elemental to use here. You could also argue about Undini or Salamando. I can definitely see folks running Undini on this seed as well. But all in all, this is a seed where faster magic leveling being disabled doesn't impact you as much because you're running a double sprite. And double sprite means you get to cast 2 spells per action. Theoretically, you have double the MP. So level 1, for example, you have 8 MP, of course. When you're running double sprite, you technically have 16 MP to work with. So that means everything is doubled. Your damage is doubled, as long as you cast at the same time anyway. Your damage is practically doubled. Your MP is practically doubled. So having lower level spells on this seed doesn't really impact you too much. Because you basically do double damage. Basically. Because you're running double sprite. Double sprite setups are always a little bit risky because 1, you may not find any money to get armor, and if you do a lot of boss checks and you don't have money to get armor, then sooner or later you're going to get plastered by stuff. So you got to be careful with double sprite because sprite obviously is not the most defensive character in the game. Sprite is usually the first character to start taking damage through a seed, as far as, armor is concerned. And then the girl was usually next, and then the boy, because the boy has the most defense out of all three characters. The girl's defense is in the middle, and then the sprite has the lowest. So yeah, sprite's usually the one that starts falling off first. So you kind of have to keep tabs on his defense, because once his defense gets to a point where enemies are hitting for significant amount of damage, they're starting to hit status effects on you like unconsciousness, then you're going to have issues, because now you're going to have to be on the defense more often. So I feel as though it's a good idea to try and keep armored up this seed. At the very least, go for stuff like Tiger Cap and Chest Guard, because those 2 items right there give you 60 defense. So 60 defense is a lot for mid game. And then gradually upgrade your armlet as you go. IV amulets are nice to have this seed because, being knocked unconscious is bad, and you don't want that. Let's see, mid game, I decided to just check mid-game areas for 2 reasons. 1, because we got a couple of hints about stuff being mid, like the Moonseed was mid and Shade was mid. And of course, Moonseed could have led to something, but it didn't, unfortunately. Speaking of hints, the game eventually tells you that the sprite is in the Rabite Forest, but he was blocked by a cutting weapon, and the sword is hard required to seed because the sword, the axe, mind you, was locked by the sword, so you could not get to the axe without having the sword. So the sword definitely was hard required. It was also in a pretty silly spot, so Depending on when runners find that, is gonna, help determine their time. Um, Having the sword definitely was required, but I don't. Was the axe required? I don't. Yeah, the axe was required because we needed to go to doppelgangers. So um, this definitely felt like a hard complexity seed because of where some of our progression items were. Gnome at doppelgangers, Sylphid behind the Earthseed pedestal, which I kind of figured we might have to at least peek it because the game gave us a hint saying the Earth Seeds on the Fire Seed pedestal. So that might be worth looking into. So at least remembering anyway. Turns out it was required to get the Earth Seed because Sylphid was required to get through Grand Palace and Sylphid was on the Earth Seed pedestal. Um, the hints as a whole on this seed, they weren't too bad, honestly. It gave you a lot of information about what was on pedestals. Like the Dark Seed was on a ped, Light Seed was on a ped, the Gold Key was on a ped, and I think what else was on a ped was it was just Gold Key, Light Seed, Dark Seed. I think that was it, right? I think that was it. So it does give you information about what's on pedestals. Gold Key being possibly, a thing that leads to progression. Dark Seed, a thing that could lead to progression. Light Seed, all of those are possibilities for progression. So you kind of have to keep those in mind. Yeah, so this was this was definitely a pretty brutal seed. Not because we couldn't kill bosses. We killed bosses rather quickly on this seed because, like I said, Double Sprite actually is very powerful. Except that you just have to keep armored up. And low spell levels, as I mentioned, they don't mean too much. Aside from maybe Luna, I guess. But other than that, having low spell levels doesn't really mean too much. This is definitely one of those seeds where you do want to stick to one or two elementals and just leave the rest alone. So we decided to stick with Dryad. Burst, of course, strongest spell in the game. We could have also, there is a world where we could have stuck with Undini. We could have stuck with Salamander. Salamander was pretty much my secondary element anyway. But we mostly used Dryad on this seed, and for good reason, because double burst kills things very quickly. All right, so 152.20 is our time for this seed of the week, number 246. Late game, I wanted to avoid Pure Land at all costs. And the reason why is because Pure Land, we all know how Pure Land works by now. There's 6 bosses and there's 7 checks. These enemies scale up. There wasn't really a good spot to do it early. As a matter of fact, we couldn't do it early because we had no cutting weapon. We could do the first 3 spots, and that's it. But Pure Land obviously led to sadness on this seed because learning where everything was, what could have been there beside the glove, the javelin? We knew the Moogle Belt was on Sunken Continent. We knew where the Dark Seed was. Luminous not in the seed. Yeah, so Pure Land looked to be haunted this seed. So I'm definitely glad we did not have to step in there. I didn't want to step in there. Another reason why I didn't want to step in Pure Land is because the enemies would scale up quicker because, again, 6 bosses. And if we did not have anything to show for it, which we would not have, then we would have been very sad. All right, so with that said, let us put in this time. 152.20. Just want to see where we stand. And hopefully we do better this week. But I don't know. And this is a pretty rude seed, I will say that much. Oh, wow. Okay, so we landed in second place. We got 152.20. First place got a 133.56. What the hell? I mean, I'm not even mad about the time. I'm just curious how they got 133. We got third with a 209.23 and fourth with a 213.31 so far. Well, I feel dirty for doing Doppels when I did. I put off NTR because I hate doing it. I can see that. Even though I think the dog seed was there, no idea if it was. We'll be interested to see when others go there for no. So they did doppelgangers. Well, they didn't say they did it early, but it had to be. Maybe it was just a gut feeling check, which I kind of understand because sometimes I get gut feeling checks and just do it, even though the check doesn't make sense. But sometimes I'll get a gut feeling, and these are the kind of feelings I had when I was running FF4 Free Enterprise. I would just get a gut feeling and say, "Oh, maybe I should check Cave Magnus for like the Baron key or something, or whatever. Maybe I just do it. I don't care if the check doesn't make sense at the time, but I'm just gonna do it and roll the dice and hope I get lucky." Maybe it was a gut check. I don't know. I'm not even mad about that time. That's a very, very solid time. Very good time. Especially for a seed of this caliber. Seeing that's what was in this seed. Let's see, even though I think the dark seed was there, we got a hint for the dark seed though. I think the dark seed was on a pedestal. We don't know what pedestal. I'm thinking it's the light seed pad, maybe. I'm thinking that's where it is. But yeah, they got gnome early. So I'm assuming. See, they went to doppelgangers. They got gnome. Maybe they went after that. Maybe they went for the Earth Palace check, or maybe they went Fire Palace for third seed and then did the check. I don't know what order they did it in, but yeah, I don't know about that. That the doppels doing doppelgangers that early, it seems like a gut check to me. But I mean, I certainly wouldn't have made a play like that unless I was just feeling really gutsy and feeling like, oh, let's just check this place. Let's just check doppelgangers. Maybe, especially since the seed was not hard complexity. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. But yeah, good time regardless. So I feel as though, and I'm not assuming anything, but I feel as though the other runners are probably gonna come in within like the 140, 140-ish, 150-ish, 2-hour time limit. It does depend on when you go to Doppelgangers to get Gnome and when you go to Earth Palace to get Sylphid, because both of those were required. So, and they were in silly spots. No one likes checking Doppelgangers. No one likes checking Earth Palace, but sometimes you just gotta do it because they're required to beat the run. All right, anywho, that is it for this seed of the week, number 246. 152.20 is our time. I will see y'all later. And hopefully next week's seed isn't as brutal, but you never know what Maribot will cook up. So I'll see y'all next time.